Welcome, everybody, to the Hounds podcast. In this episode, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you've already seen it as you clicked on the title. We are joined by an awesome guest and definitely a major positive influence on the hound hunting world. But before we get into it and get to the episode with him, we're going to hit our quote and Bible verse of the week. We'll hit our first quote, and that says, what we have once enjoyed, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us. And then our verse of the week comes from Psalms 23:4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I felt like those were a little appropriate after, and I won't get into it too much, but we did not have a good election here in Virginia. So houndsmen, y'all are going to have to, especially here in Virginia, get ready for a fight, guys. It's not going to be good, and hopefully we can save the sport somehow. So just be ready to mount up, guys. All right, let's get to the episode, guys. All right, let's go. Drop the gate. Welcome, everybody, to the Hounds podcast. This is your home for field trialing and deer dog hunting. It'll be stories and discussions on the world of dog hunting. So let's drop the gate, cast your hounds, and get ready for another episode of the Hounds podcast. The Hounds podcast is proud to partner again with Outdoor Dog Supply for the 2025 year. Outdoor Dog Supply is the leader in online garment sales with their world-class trade-in programs. The guys are not just a business, they're houndsmen and women too. They test their products out in the field, put them to the test, get the latest in garment equipment, and they stay locked and loaded and ready with field trial equipment, collars, leashes, and so much more. Visit their website today at outdoordogsupply.com, and we want to thank Outdoor Dog Supply for their support not only for the podcast, but in field trials across the country. When you're looking for your next purchase in equipment, make sure you keep Outdoor Dog Supply in mind. Now, let's get this episode going, guys. Welcome, everybody, to the Hounds podcast. On this episode, we are joined by, well, let's just say if you have been on YouTube and searched any kind of dog hunting videos, you've probably stumbled across it, whether you know it or not. You've probably stumbled across these guys, Mr. Jase Krisle. Make sure I'm saying that name right. Is that exactly how you say it?
No, it's actually Krisle.
Krisle, okay, gotcha. I should have asked you that before we started recording.
Yeah, it ain't no big deal. Nobody can pronounce that name.
I understand. So, Jase is part of the crew that runs and I'm gonna say the whole name. It's the TKB Them Krisle Boys YouTube channel. If you haven't gone on there and found them yet, go on YouTube, guys, and find these guys. They put down some amazing deer hunting with dogs footage. They really do a good job, and we'll get more into that. Before we get too carried away, why don't you introduce yourself, man? You know, who you are, where you're from, and, you know, how long have you been running dogs?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. My name is Jase Krisle. I'm originally from South Carolina, and been running dogs my whole life.
Okay.
As long as I can remember.
I got you. So was that something that was passed down in the family then?
Yeah. My dad got pretty big into it about the time he was like 15. And yeah, man, I mean, first time at the hunting club for me, I was in diapers.
All right.
I ain't missed many Saturdays since.
You're just kind of born into it.
Absolutely.
I hear that. So, needless to say, your dad was definitely the influence on you continuing that and keeping on going with that heritage.
Absolutely. Yeah, hands down.
Awesome. And it's I think I have this kind of in the notes later, but it is a family affair for y'all. This is something that y'all do as a family. I think it's 2 brothers. Is that right?
Yes. So I'm the oldest, and then Jacob and Lane. So there's 3 of us. And then we got a little sister too, Megan, the baby girl.
I gotcha.
And, and then of course Dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Is she coming up too? Is going to be a hounds woman?
She don't really get into the dog hunting too much.
Gotcha.
She's pretty slick with a rifle though. I'll tell you that. Yeah. she can frame them pretty good with a
She
30
got them killer instincts just born into it.
Yeah, she does. She got it naturally for sure.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. So, well, like you said, man, y'all down in South Carolina, so y'all season started, what, a month ago? Is that about right?
Well, the South Carolina season starts August 15th. You can shoot
Okay.
bucks. It's bucks
Gotcha.
only to about September 15th, and then it opens up
Dang,
everything. But yeah, it's a long season.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're not quite as fortunate up here in Virginia. We get some we get about 6 or 7 weeks, and that's about all we get.
Right. Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's tough. But
Yeah.
how's your season been going so far?
It's been pretty good. We've done pretty well this season for sure.
Awesome. Awesome.
It's just now starting to get a little cooler weather. The leaves is changing. The bucks is getting stupid. So
Yeah.
it's getting that prime time now. So we're all excited about that.
So what's cooler weather for you? What kind of temperatures you talk about?
Down here in the southeast, I mean, it'll be, you see your breath one morning, and the next morning you might as well throw on a bathing suit. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. But yeah, it's been, let's see, in the 40s.
Okay, I got you. That's pretty good. We've been hitting mid-30s in the mornings up here. The bucks are really starting to get a little loony up here. I've seen a lot of deer hit on the side of the road.
Oh yeah, same here. They about 10, 20 in the morning probably.
Oh
right?
yeah,
they're all over the place.
That's right. Do y'all get much of a in those counties that open up like that down there? Or is there like a bow season? Is there like a muzzleloader season that they have beforehand, or is it during, or is it kind of just intermingled in there?
So August 15th in South Carolina, it opens up full blown everything: rifle, shotgun, bow, muzzleloader,
Whatever you want.
Yeah, in the game zones that we're in anyway.
Dang, that's nice.
We travel and we hunt all over the place. I mean, several different states and
Okay, I gotcha.
and stuff. But
Awesome.
yeah.
So what's your main location then? Like what's your hometown club? What's that?
That's, and I'm glad you asked me that, because I kind of want to address that for people that's listening. That's actually the only question that I don't answer, man. And I got a pretty good reason,
Absolutely.
as to why, and we can get into that. I actually like to explain that to everybody a little bit, but
Yeah, absolutely.
so I don't know, because man, if you look at the comments on YouTube, that's the first thing everybody asks all the time, and I don't blame them. But
Right.
I'll tell you where we grew up hunting, because we don't hunt there anymore, obviously. But it's this low country South Carolina. It's this plantation called Good Hope Plantation,
Okay.
and this place was, if I remember correctly, I believe it was like 16,000 acres in one block.
Dang.
Was Good Hope. Yeah, and we grew up in a dog club called Pine Barren, and
Okay.
Pine Barren was about like 7,000 or 8,000 of it in one block.
Mhm.
And so that's the club my dad was in, and we all grew up in as boys or whatnot. And but it was kind of like, I think, if I remember right, I believe like in the early 2000s they brought this fella down there, and he did like an article or something, put it in Sportsman's magazine and whatnot. And man, when that happened, I mean, the landowners had people coming at them tooth and nail, trying to outbid the hunting club to get the
Gotcha.
hunting. So it was always kind of a big thing down there to, like, we don't post this on Facebook, like,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So I've just kind of inherited that, kind of learned it, and lo and behold, now we actually lost all that. We lost that entire all the dog hunting rights to that club, everything, like in 2018, 2019, I think, something like that, somewhere in there, 17 maybe.
Dang.
But yeah, basically a couple of fellas from, I think they was all from Florida, some rich people. They basically, it was, from my understanding, it was 5 different fellas paid $25,000 a head to come hunt.
Golly.
That's if I remember that correctly, it was something stupid like that.
That's
So,
insane. That's
but
insane. But that's a great reason though. Like I never would have.
yeah,
It makes a lot of sense having that much. You mean I think y'all just we'll talk about it a little more later, but y'all just tripped over 1 million views. So
oh yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I mean you got a lot of eyes on you, and um, that's an excellent reason. I really do. I can respect that a lot.
I appreciate it, and yeah, I just got, people ask me that, I'm not being rude or nothing, but like man, I can't say all that,
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah,
like
I'm with you.
but yeah, I think TKB the channel in itself, I know we crossed 10 million views. I think it's like 10.3
Okay, 10
on
million. I got
TKB.
you. I got you.
Yeah. So
Dang on.
yeah, it's really doing well.
That's awesome.
I never expected that. That's for sure. But
That surprise success is always the best, ain't it?
yeah, it is. It's accidental success, really, to be
Right.
honest.
Right.
But, yeah,
Trust me, I get it. I'm nowhere near those numbers on this end, but man, it's like you think you're just doing something, kind of just see where it goes, kind of deal, have some fun with it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, we gotta keep doing this now. So
yeah, that's right, exactly.
I love it. So location out of the question then. What kind of style the Hounds podcast would like to take a minute and talk about our friends over at Cajun Lights. When pleasure running at night or judging those nighttime field trials, put your trust in Cajun Lights. With the economical Cajun Bayou for the every now and then light user, the Cajun Micro for the nighttime feeds, and the top level Cajun Blinder for those hardcore crossings. The Cajun Lights are headlamp style lights that free up your hands for voice recorders or your GPS. They offer flood style lights in red, amber, and white walking lights. Then the top of the line 4-level main beam light. If you're having a hard time catching crossings at night, give the Cajun Light a try on the red and amber setting to catch the game with the easy flick of a switch and go right back to your main beam light and see your hounds in action. Visit our website today at CajunLights.com and check out and make sure you fill out the survey and select Hounds Tales Podcast to receive 5% off your next purchase from Cajun Lights. Now let's get back to the episode, guys. What kind of style hunting are y'all doing? Let's start with the dogs first. Are y'all beagles? Are y'all long-legged dogs? What are y'all normally running as far as you yourself goes?
So me myself, I got 7 head right now.
Okay.
And they're mostly foxhounds.
Okay. Yeah.
And pretty much, let's see, four sure enough foxhounds, 4 or 5, and then Willie's like foxhound blue tick mix.
Okay, I got you.
And then CB and Biff, they're Heinz 57 dogs. They got a little bit of everything in them. I don't really know what they are.
Right.
They just deer dogs pretty much.
Hey, that's usually the best ones too, ain't it?
Yeah, they're little puppies, but man, they're coming around. They're starting to figure it out. So
I got you.
But
Yeah.
yeah, most of the folks we hunt with, pretty much is a lot of foxhounds.
Okay.
Occasional big blue ticks, red ticks sometimes, and
Right. I wasn't really sure with being, in the southern region, being down that direction. I didn't know if y'all really ran beagles a lot down there or small-legged dogs. I figured it had to be kind of long-legged dogs for those, swampier / bigger blocks that y'all are probably running a lot of.
yeah, for the most part. Now, granted, we do hunt with some folks that run beagles and stuff like that too. And I used to have beagles and stuff, but I ain't gonna lie, I got a hold of some of these foxhounds, man, and
It changed your life, didn't it?
yeah, I like that yow, yeah,
Right.
yeah, I like that. So,
You
but,
got any kind of any idea what they're off of kind of deal? What they go back to kind of stuff, or?
to be honest with you, I have no earthly idea.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know Waylon and Willie came from a fella that had a reputation of having some jam up deer dogs,
Gotcha.
and that reputation has proven to have been spot on.
Prove themselves right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but as far as like the lineage or whatever for like the other ones, nah,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I'm not real sure.
I got you. I know a lot of the guys that listen to this, particularly they're big on them papers and knowing what they're off of kind of deal. But
Yeah.
I grew up kind of like you're talking. I grew up with the who knows what the heck they're off of. As far as if you could write papers down, actually track them back kind of deal.
Yeah.
I sat down with my dad one day and talking about some of his dogs. He goes, "Oh yeah, they're off of this dog that he owned and this dog that he owned, and it wasn't Roscoe's Billy Bob. It wasn't that like that. It was this dog. It was a male dog that he owned back in the day. That kind of stuff. And used to be Mr. Cheatham stock. That kind of stuff. But man, they make for great dogs. I swear they do. Deer dogs, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
So I guess with kind of being out everywhere, well, not everywhere, but going to a lot of different directions deer dog hunting. Let's kind of stick with wherever your home club is, where you're normally at.
Yeah.
Are y'all ran on like a hunt master style, or are y'all ran on like a whoever calls it out first kind of deal? How does a normal day of deer dogging go for y'all?
Yeah, so it's definitely a hunt master style.
Gotcha.
That's one thing we really strive for and really appreciate. It's about as organized as it gets.
Right.
We got a solid time to meet up, and we got we got different blocks that we rotate, and several or different tracks we rotate, should I say, and then several different blocks that we'll hunt,
Gotcha.
on these tracks. And basically imagine we usually hunt about a 400 or 500 acre block.
Right.
And, surrounded by probably, on a good day, probably 30, 35 fellas, standards.
That's good. That's really good.
And then about 10 to 15 dog men.
Okay. Yep. That's what I was kind of curious, how many dog guys y'all had.
Yeah. So, basically, I mean, all the, you got the tags on the trees. Everybody draws stands. And
okay.
And it's, we all got little radios. So we're real big into, coordinating and
Absolutely.
Minutes. Hands down, you got to know where the next man is before you pull that trigger. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think it was one of your more recent videos. I noticed that was one of the things I really picked up on that I think it was you personally did, that you were walking the dogs and were in a thicket and was coming up, and the deer was, you were able to shoot towards it, but you knew where you were and knew that the guys were over the next ridge, and you made a mention of it that, hey, it wasn't a safe shot. I knew where I was, and I knew these guys were on the next road, and very well could have ended badly, but you did what you were supposed to do. And I was like, man, that's what people need to see, is those kind of reactions and understanding of how houndsmen hunt like that. Everybody knows where they're at. We make those educated decisions.
Yeah, and make them at a incredibly fast, rate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's and thank you for saying that. That's one thing we really strive to kind of emphasize a lot on TKB is, because safety's the most important thing to keep in mind with stuff like that. So the clubs we hunt with, the folks we hunt with, they feel the same way about that. So we enjoy hunting with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you was kind of talking about the style, so I kind of finished telling you about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dang, yeah, pretty much. So we're actually kind of different than most dog hunters, from what I've come to realize. I didn't really realize how rare actually hiking the woods is. You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking about Pine Barren earlier. That was all wide open pines, man. Like legit pine barrens. You know what I'm saying? With the ferns, the knee-high ferns, and you had a pond. You had a little pond covered down in there. Yeah. A little bottom, and it's like, well, any, mini, miny, mo. That's where the deer's at, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, so we've grown. I mean, we've just always, and it's not like the dogs need us to hike them in there. And you know, I can cast mine too. I can back right on up, cast them. They'll go in there, hunt, and do their thing. You know, but I like getting in there playing chess with them, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
agreed, 100%.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, I'm surprised like more people don't do that. It's like, man, y'all don't know what y'all missing. I feel like
100%, 100%. And that was another thing when I started watching y'all's videos. That was the one thing that really caught my eye. I was like, dude, these guys are walking their dogs like they're supposed. Well, like they're supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I was raised up like that. You know, I was raised up was you get in there, you hike them, you kind of have a command while you're hiking the dogs that keep them in control. You know, I've noticed that, you know, if yours pull off, it seems like you can hit them with that hike a couple times and they come kind of pull back to you like, hey, all right, I don't need to be going that way. I need to come back this way. And like you said, you get to really watch them and work the dogs as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing is, thank you for bringing that up too. That's, you know, recently, the last probably 7 years ish, you know, I really got big into tone breaking. Tone breaking, because a lot of the fellas I hunt with now, man, I was not a believer in it at first. I was telling you, I was like, I'm gonna ruin these dogs,
right?
You know, but I've since like kind of got all brand new dogs, and I've raised them up as puppies, just tone breaking, and it's like, dude, it's the closest thing to having a steering wheel on a dog is
100%
you can get, and it's awesome because, you know, they'll, you know, say if we're shooting bucks only, you know, they cross out the block running a doe. All I gotta do is hit the button, and them dogs turn around on a dime, and they're coming back.
Right.
And they gonna hunt another one.
Yep.
You know, and that's a luxury that the old timers didn't have, and
correct. Right.
It's pretty cool.
I spent many a days as a kid jumping in front of dogs trying to cross and having to tackle them going across the highway.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. And then with the beep beep system, I was all with the beep beep system back in the day.
You the one that had your cold hand hanging out the window.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All day long. But yeah, you know, I've noticed that not a whole lot of. Now, granted, I'm not knocking anybody, you know.
Yeah.
I'm, you know, we're all on the same team. I love it. To be honest with you, I'm kind of interested. I've just never really done the whole run and gun style. As far as like, you know, dump the box and ride and cut them off and this and that. So I ain't never really messed with it, to be honest with you. I've always walked in woods, and me personally, I think that's if you ask me. I think that's you walk in them woods like that. To me, I think that's the hardest. Like that's one of the hardest ways to kill a whitetail deer. I think, and the reason I say that is because, you know, you think of if you're hunting a 400 acre block, 400 acre block of woods. You know, like I got a video I just finished, and I'm gonna probably release it Wednesday or Thursday. But I do a pretty good job explaining that. Man, you're gonna laugh when you see the hell I had to go through to get in here to kill this deer. Dude, I'm talking about, you couldn't see your hand in front of your face type deal. It was
thick.
But and that block was about 400 or 500 acres, and you know, I went in there, never been in this tract of woods before. I went in there blind, and I put myself in a position to get a 5-yard shot on a buck.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I love that, man.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You know, you get in there and you do that dance with them, man. You figure them out. I mean, and you got to do it quick, too, because, I mean, you know, you can't say, all right, I'm in the position. Now y'all go jumping. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, them dogs done jumped that deer. You better
get ready.
Right.
Yeah, daggone right.
You know?
Well, and like you said, you learn so much by walking. So you're probably picking out things that instinctively you may not even realize that you're doing it anymore. Like, I know I've caught myself, like, I'll look and I'll say, hey, I'll see this beaten path. Like, I can see where it looks like they're coming down, and more than likely, if the dogs are pushing them, this is the direction they're going to be coming down. So I know to place myself here, close to here, and I got a good chance if they do make that cut and come this way. And you're probably seeing that a lot as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole time. And that's the cool thing about it is, you do all the same things as you would if you was like bow hunting or steel hunting or, anything like that. You just got to do it a lot faster.
Yes.
Your scouting process and everything, you just got to be quick. You know?
Yeah.
The whole time I'm moving through the woods, I'm looking for trails, like you say, beat down paths. And a lot of times if you follow that beat down path, it leads you to another beat down path where they intersect and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's usually a good spot. Ditches, changes in the terrain, like the woods. If it goes to pines to a branch, or small pines to big pines, stuff like that, like any kind of change in the terrain, man, them deer, they love to run down the edges of them change in the woods.
Yep, 100%. Yep, 100%. All right, y'all, we're going to take a quick second and pause this episode, talk about our partners over at Elite Nutrition. Our hounds, guys, they're athletes. They give us their all each and every time they're cast. Elite Nutrition offers all natural products to give your dogs the natural benefits that they deserve. From the canine remove and all natural wormer to the ElectroBoost paste for electrolyte replenishment, body fluid balance, and blood flow improvement. They also have products like Active Dog Powder for recovery and joint and muscle support, Essential Dog Powder for daily vitamins and minerals, probiotics, prebiotics, and enzymes, the Canine Lactate Powder for nursing dogs to help with milk supply. There are tons of other products to check out at CajunLights.com, and then click on the Elite Nutrition section to explore. When you get to checkout, and only at CajunLights.com, use the code HTElite10 to receive 10% off your Elite Nutrition products. Again, that's HT Hounds Tails Elite 10. So HT10 Elite 10 in the discount code section to receive 10% off of all your Elite Nutrition products, only via CajunLights.com. I've been using their products, guys, for several months now. Cannot be happy with the results. That's pretty much all I run my dogs off of. So thank you, Elite Nutrition, for joining up with the Hounds Tales podcast and taking a step forward into this field trial world. Now let's get back to the results. Well, and one thing I've noticed, and I'm sure, especially if you talk about these thick areas too, you've probably picked up on it as well, is I'll get, like, if I'm, when I cast mine and they get out and they're going and I'm way out of the chase, obviously I'm going to keep looking on my GPS or helping, but I'm trying to let these other guys on the outside listen by ear and do it the old school way. But what I do on my way back to the truck is I'm finding these beat down paths, and I'll walk these beat down paths and I'll find what they lead to, and I've stumbled upon bedding areas all the time, and I'm like, all right, well, I know maybe next weekend I'm coming back right here and we're going to cast to this direction. This is where we're going to get these guys up at.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of things you can learn walking dogs, but I'm 150% with you on that. It's so enjoyable, not only learning the land, learning the deer, how they're moving, but you're also watching your dogs. You're getting to really watch those dogs work, and you got guys that I feel like a lot of times they're kind of guessing, okay, yeah, that dog is probably the one that jumped it, but you may get in there and get to watch them and actually see that, hey, it was actually this dog over here that was doing the work, and that dog just kind of nabbed it from him, and he got the recognition.
yeah, man, it is. I agree. That's cool to see. There's been numerous times, and I've got it on camera a couple of times. Matter of fact, I got it on camera. Not this video I'm dropping this week, but next week's video. Man, that Willie dog I got, that is a tough dude, bro. I'm telling you right now, like, that dog, you'll see him, he'll be, all of a sudden he'll throw that nose up in the air, and man, it's business.
When the nose goes up, it's on.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. He's a tough dude, man. But yeah, it's neat being in there, being in the woods with him and watching him work, for sure.
I love it.
You see a lot of things, like you say, and you learn a lot of things. It definitely brings out the woodsman in you, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, there's no right or wrong way, and I'll never knock another person for how they're doing it. But
Absolutely.
you know, I get people to give me grief all the time. They're like, "Man, those dogs got legs for a reason. They can walk themselves in there." But man, I'm like, but you miss out on so much, man. You just miss out on so much. But no, like I said, that was one of the things when I started really watching y'all's videos. I was like, man, these guys are in there. You're really seeing it. And I tell y'all what, y'all boys put some shots on some deers too.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. That's growing up down there in that, hunting that pine bear, man, that, down there, probably about 80% of a dog man's shots was jump shots.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's a bird plantation, it's a quail plantation. So it's just the way those woods is laid out. It was jump shots. You walk all day long beating them bushes, and people watching. If they know anything about a jump shot, you better be on your P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying?
And they'll scare the snot out of you too.
Oh yeah, see that's the thing, right? So there's not a sign hanging in a tree saying, "Hey, he's right here." You know what I'm saying? Like you're walking all day long, and you never know when or if it's even gonna happen. So when it is, you got to learn how to take that initial reaction of jumping and turn it into.
I remember one of the first times that I was in there by myself walking, and I come up with some mountain laurel, and this whole mountain laurel bush just started shaking, and it scared me so bad. I jumped the gun, and it flipped up upside down, and I'm sitting there, and I'm putting the gun upside down. I'm like, well, that's not going to work too well. So.
Yeah.
They will absolutely scare the snot out of you. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's fun. It'll get your heart beating for sure.
Daggone right. But so man, TKB. Let's talk on that just a little bit here, man. So that, I mean that's kind of the premise of why y'all here. Of course, the dogs and talking dogs is of course the main thing, but TKB starting the YouTube channel. When did that start?
So I think it was like 2020, 21, 2021, something like that. Pretty much. So I've kind of I've always wore like a little GoPro on my head since I was probably like 16.
Right.
16, 17, something like that. Matter of fact, the first time I ever wore a GoPro in the woods, I had a dang buck about run me over. I mean, he literally brushed my leg. That was wild, and so I was kind of hooked, since then. I was showing everybody on my little laptop and stuff, and
right.
So I always wore a GoPro. I used to hunt off horseback, and I had a couple of videos of me, shooting deer off a horseback with a GoPro on, and that was pretty cool. And
right.
Basically, I one day my laptop storage was like, getting full. So I was like, well, okay. So I just took all these videos of these kill shots I had, and I just kind of put them all in like a, just like a highlight video type deal.
Right.
And, to free up the storage or whatnot. Well, then, me and my roommates and stuff, I was trying to, I wanted to watch it on the big screen. And I wasn't real tech savvy back then, so I didn't know how to screen mirror or nothing like that. So
right.
I said, well, hell, we can pull up YouTube on the big screen. So I was like, let me build a YouTube channel real quick, and I'll throw that video on there, and we can watch it on the big screen,
Right.
And I didn't really think nothing about it. Made a YouTube channel, put it on the big screen. Hey, that was cool, yada yada yada. Text a couple more of my buddies, said, hey, y'all go check this out. And well, then about a couple months goes by, and I kind of realized this is a lot more than just me and my buddies that was watching that video. So I was like, huh. So I was like, well, I had a couple more kills last weekend. Let me throw that on there.
Right.
And then kind of did that, did it some more, and the YouTube channel name was just Jase Krisle, back then.
Right.
And then because like I say, I mean, it was kind of an accident, really. I didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I'm gonna try to be a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And granted, I didn't really even watch YouTube that much. I'd heard of like Big Penzl and like Bubba Roundtree and people like that before.
Right.
But I didn't really watch like none of it all that much, honestly. Back then, I do now.
Yeah, right.
But then Up Close and Personal came, and I don't know if you've seen that video. That's the most popular video we got. That's it's pushing 3 million views just on that video.
Dang. Yeah, I do remember that one.
Yeah, it's that one was wild, man. Like, I mean, the main scene in that one that people kind of went crazy about is, we're hunting these like farm management places. So like they got like farm management tags, and basically we're told to wipe them out. Like,
right.
Like, we got people that need this meat. We need the deer gone. So take care
of
them.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's what we was doing that day, and I say that because I've caught a lot of backlash from this video.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, they was actually fussing at me about not having a plug in my gun. I was like, "What? You don't have to have a plug in." But no, anyway. So I think there was four deer, and they was running at me. Well, long story short, I killed 3 of them, but before I did, I killed 2, and I actually reached in my pocket, grabbed the shell out of my pocket, threw it in the gun, slammed the chamber shut, and turned and killed the other one right as it was jumping the fence. I mean, I kind of looked like a robot a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I kind of realized, like, damn, I just got all that on camera. And,
right.
Right. But yeah, needless to say, that video went up there, and I think it had like 2,000 views on it. And then like I woke up the next morning and it had like 200,000 or something stupid like
something
that.
Crazy.
It just went up like that, and it just kind of took off. And then next thing I know, I was getting emails from like YouTube itself, talking about joining the partnership program, yada yada yada. And I was like, well, daggum, this would be something we need to look into a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So at first it was just all about some cool kill shots, this and that. This dude can shoot shotgun pretty good, whatever. Right. And then I think I had about 7,000-8,000 subscribers, and then I decided I was going to take it real serious. And I was like, well, I don't just want this to be about me. So I was like, I want this to be a family thing, a family affair. So and I was like, well, what am I going to call it?
The Hounds Tales podcast is proud to announce our newest partnership with Dog Tight. Y'all watching on video, check out the hat. Be sure to check out dogtight.com, and when you are there, use our discount code HoundsTales15. That's HoundsTales, TALES, and the number 15 to get a 15% discount on any of your apparel that you get from dogtight.com. I'm sure y'all recognize the name, the Dog Tight song. Carson Robertson and Dog Tight clothing line has jumped on board with the podcast, and we are very, very excited to see where this takes us. So be sure, if you're looking for Dog Tight apparel, hats, hoodies, shirts, check them out, dogtight.com, and use our discount code HoundsTales15 at checkout to get 15%. All right, guys, let's get back to the episode.
So I threw some names around, Leadhead, or just
right
and stuff like that, and it hit me. I was like, well, what do they always call us? We kind of had me and my brothers, we've always had like a reputation of being woodsmen,
right.
Especially at like the hunting clubs we've hunted at in the past, and
yeah.
And they would always refer to us as them damn Krisle Boys. And you hear that over the CB quite a bit. You know what I mean?
Right. I get it.
Yeah, who's doing all that shooting back there? Well, it's them dang Krisle Boys. You know what I mean? So we figured we'd drop the dam and just put, them Krisle Boys. You know what I mean? And,
I like that.
And so that's what it became of it. I'll tell you a little side story on that. When that like nickname, I guess you could call it, really set in, that club I was telling you about, Pine Barren. Actually, the last time we ever hunted there, we so that land, like I say, it was low country South Carolina, so it had like marsh on some of the parts of it.
Right.
And my dad was a hound master, so like basically, we had a hunting master and a hound master, and the hunting master would pretty much decide where we're gonna go hunt. You know, he'd line up where all the standards is gonna be, this and that. And my dad, the hound master, he'd basically take care of the dog man. He's like, all right, you gonna turn out here, and we'd all draw for it to see who turns out where and whatnot. But this one day, we was hunting this drive called Zion Church.
Okay.
And there was some marsh on it. And something about, they was all fussing about high tide, and nobody really wanted to go to that marsh. It's thick, it's rough, and it was. I mean, it's nasty, man. Yeah. That pluff mud and that marsh ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But needless to say, somebody needed to go there. So Dad looks at me. He says, "Jase, you take you and your brothers. Y'all go to that marsh." And I said, "Yes, sir." So, man, long story short, we come off that highway, went into that marsh, and Bubba, we meant business. We walked up in that marsh in 10 minutes. We had 3 bucks on the ground.
Nice now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, we went in there and we hammered them.
Man, them tough spots are usually the hot spots, man.
Yeah, and we was the only ones to kill deer on that drive too.
No kidding.
And it was in the spot that nobody wanted to go, and man, they was all talking about them Krisle boys and dang Krisle boys. But yeah, anyway, that's how the name come about.
I love
for
that
YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a heck of a story behind that, you know.
Yeah.
It's I wasn't sure if that was like you said, that if it was the name from the get-go or if it got changed, but no, that's really awesome. So, I guess that one video you were speaking on was probably the one that kind of set the tone, kind of took it off and made that spark go from, all right, we're getting a couple thousand, we're doing pretty good, to holy crap, YouTube just emailed me, you know, kind of deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it definitely opened my eyes up a little bit. Like I say, I never really thought much about it. You know, I was just like, let me throw a couple cool kill shots up here, something I can go back and watch. Because, I mean, to be honest with you, man, I watch them. I watch these videos. I mean,
100%.
I make them, you know, but I watch them all the time, too, you know. Like, I like reliving it, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it'd be cool one day, you know, God willing, you know, be 50 years old, sit down with my kids and like, hey, check out your dad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You know, so.
I get it. I get that 100%. I mean, I'll go back and listen to some of the conversations that I have on here. So I 100%, 10% get that, man.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, and you know, when you work, you know, like, we can get into this too a little bit if you want. You know, the thing about, you know, TKB, you know, I've never worked so hard on something in my life. Like, I really hadn't. Like, I hadn't been, I never really was tech savvy. I didn't grow up playing video games or being on a computer, like nothing like that.
Right.
I was always in the woods, you know?
Right.
So, but yeah, having to learn, man, I put thousands of hours into computer work and learning how to edit, you know, kind of, you know, I've went as far as digging into the psychology behind what people like to see. You know what I'm saying? And like, how can I incorporate that into hunting? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I've went deep in it. You know,
it's a lot to it, man. It really is.
It really is.
I've got it. I dabbled. Like, I recorded, and I still keep a GoPro on me when I'm out in hunting, just for, you know, whatever's sake. You know, just in case I do ever get time. But I tried to sit down and do the editing and doing all that kind of stuff and overlaying and all that. Man, it's a ton of work, and y'all do the time that y'all have to put into it is just absolutely insane. And I think people need to really realize it's not just as simple as, all right, I'm just gonna put a couple videos together and stack them on top of each other and then talk over top of it. It ain't like that, you know. It's
not at all.
So much more to make a good quality video, and y'all do a great job at it.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, we really work hard at it, man. And like I say, you know, as far as like the editing and stuff like that, I handle 100% all of that. And But I tell you, it really is a group effort because, you know, like Jacob and Lane and my dad especially, like, you know, if I'm focused on, you know, gotta edit and make these videos, you know, Lane will go feed the dogs for me, or Jacob will throw my clothes in the wash, you know, like
help
like
out.
that. They'll help out with, and Dad will charge the collars, you know, for the next hunt we're going on, like, you know, stuff like that. So they kind of take care of pretty much everything else around me, so I can like zone in, focus on grinding this video out, man. Because that's the cool thing about it, really. Like I kind of dabbled in a second ago. You know, it started with just a couple cool kill shots. You know, look at that Brown and A5, you know, type thing. But then I really started taking it real serious when I seen an opportunity to really. Well, I guess our ultimate goal is like to change how people feel about dog hunting. You know, at least make a little bit of a dent in it. You know, an impact, because, and I really think we're starting to do that actually. But you know, I just want to show the right way to do it, the safe way to do it. You know, we're a God-loving family. You know, we you know, so I kind of want to show all of that. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a couple things I want to dive into on all that right there. So, you know, first I want to talk about the family stuff, man. You know, like you said, it's definitely a family affair. I've noticed that if not every video, almost all the videos, it's you or at least one of your brothers or your dad out there every time. Y'all are always out there. All of them usually have cameras on them. You're grabbing footage from all kinds of different angles, which is awesome. So, you know, I really have a ton of respect for that, and it's great that you have them on board, not only for helping you out while you're working in the background, you know, for the part that people don't get to see, but they're also helping you grab that footage. You can hear the communications back and forth between all of y'all. You know, it really is a neat to see, and y'all do a really great job of representing that as well, and showing the hound community and others outside the hound community that it's not just a sport. It is a family affair for a lot of us out there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're exactly right. Yeah, it's definitely not just a sport. Like, I mean, it's you know, to me, man, it's everything. Like, it's everything I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think when a young man grows up at a hunting club, it produces a different breed of boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you growing up, you know, just all the camaraderie and the folks you're growing up around, especially a dog hunting club, because you got to communicate and work with everybody. You know, you got to have a relationship with these fellas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And you learn, you know, manners, how to act, respect, you know, the do's and don'ts of life, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And then the whole aspect of being in nature. And, you know, it's, hey man, when that tailgate drops on Saturday morning, that's my church.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
agreed.
Like, it's brought me, you know, incredibly close to God. Like, I mean, really, like, I mean, that's something that's, you know, that's what a lot of folks don't really realize, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot more happening than just chasing a deer and trying to kill a deer.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. I agree 110%. It's when you're out there and, you know, if, you know, talking about the being your church thing, I'm with you on that. You know, when I'll take, and if I'm out of the chase, you know what I mean by when I'm saying that. You know, I can hear the dogs singing. I'm out there in the beautiful woods that God's put out there for us, and I can turn that little handheld radio off and just be in that presence of that. And that's when I feel closest to God, honestly. I really do. And I feel like that's kind of what you're pointing towards, is that kind of idea.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see it, man. You can hear it. You know what I'm saying? You can feel it. You know, it's funny. And God has a sense of humor, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, he'll put you in situations just to mess with you sometimes. I feel like,
Right.
it's pretty funny. But I'll tell people all the time, I appreciate the bad days. You know what I mean? I thank God for the bad days, because them bad days is what makes a good day.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
like, but it's neat. It's neat the situations you'll find yourself in, and it's like, man, there's no way this is a coincidence. Like if I was just 5 steps over there, this
Right.
never would have happened.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, or if I didn't stop in this moment to hear that one dog across the drive, just in that little split second,
Right.
I never would have killed this deer. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like
Yep.
stuff like that. That's
And it's funny, in such an action-packed style hunting that we do, it's those moments where you slow down and realize, like, man, there's so much more to this. So much more.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it, man. I love that. It's a great. It's just a great analogy that you have there. It's a great circumstance that you just put out there, and I absolutely love that. And I'm sure, being with the family too. That's y'all's bonding time as well.
Oh, 100.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I like to think of it probably as probably the foundation of everything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because we've always been, we're very tight. Like, me and my brothers and my dad and mom and Megan too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even though they don't really go to the dog club much, but
Right.
we're all very, very tight, and
Right.
that's something I'm very thankful for.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, I mean, I'll speak for me personally, and I don't know how it is for y'all, but me and my dad, we're very active people. We're on the run. We're doing stuff all the time. He's got his stuff. He's got cows and work, and I've got work, and I've got field trial dogs and the podcast and my own family. So we're running and running and running and running and running. But when middle of November hits and dog season starts, that's from sun up to sundown. We're within shot of each other. We're within earshot. We're within radio CB shot of each other. And that's our time to slow down. I mean, we'll take some times and we'll just sit there and we'll just be around each other, just talking. You don't really necessarily mean to. That's not like the goal that you're going out there to do, but it just kind of happens, you know. And that's our time where nothing else in the real world matters. It's all the dogs. It's all family. It's all just being around and being in the moment. And I think that's the special times that I carry with me as far as what it means to me as with family and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I can 100% relate to that.
The Hounds podcast is happy to announce our newest partnership with Low 10 Outfitters. If your kennel is looking for new apparel to rock to the next field trial or the upcoming hunting season, look no further than Low 10 Outfitters. They offer shirts, hats, hoodies, coats, and other accessories with custom logos for your kennel or your hound's name to go on. With top quality merchandise and long-lasting quality, you can't go wrong with Low 10 Outfitters. Now we are offering Hounds podcast apparel on their website at low10outfitters.com. Be on the lookout, guys. It's there. Go purchase it. We're live, guys. Go in, go purchase it. low10outfitters.com. Click on the Houndstails section for your Houndstails apparel and the Houndstails Pin Series apparel. So thank you so much for Low 10 Outfitters for teaming up with the Houndstails podcast. Now, let's get you back to the rest of your episode. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. We're going to split this one in half, guys. We recorded for about an hour and a half, and I like taking those episodes and kind of doing them into two, so keep y'all coming back for next week. So y'all be sure, if you really enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give us a like and follow on your favorite listening platforms, and then check us out on Facebook and YouTube as well. And TikTok, all that kind of good stuff, guys. All the social medias. Check us out, Hounds Tales. And return next week for the ending of this episode. Some really good stuff still coming left in this episode, guys. I'm very happy with this. And thanks again, Jase, for coming on, buddy. We will catch y'all next week. And like always, guys, happy hunting.